All right, where are we here? I think we're up. Mute that one. Steve, pause that one. The chat will stop. Good morning, good morning. The usual names and suspects. I've been testing here. I'm having trouble with my microphone cable. My barren arm keeps getting in the way of it, so. Picking up where we left off. When I was having a look back at the stream we did yesterday, I can hear that there was the terrible noise from the barren rubbing, just pretty much blotted out everything else. Today it should be better, I think. It's quite a lighter touch today. You know what we're doing? Let's get going. Very, very much lighter touch today. In fact, a very finicky touch, trying to stop the pigment from blotting in among the face there. Oh, look at this already. Talk, 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 talk. Well, my cable at the moment has clipped my pen out of the way, under my shoulder, and it's clipped at the back. I think we'll be okay. We'll see. Are you ready to watch the same thing happen 72 times? Actually, you know, Amy-san's first batch, I think she got 60 something. I forget, 62 or 63. They're gone, they're on the way out. She's in a second batch now. This is my batch of 72. And it's still looking like it's not going to be enough. We're going to have to start another batch after I do this. So we knew it was going to be a fun image and that lots of people would be interested, but it's gone a bit more than we expected. So what we're trying to do is we're not trying to make a thick, deep, rich black here. In fact, probably one of the samples I had. Where's the sample? Stuff like this. We want, where am I? We want you know, a clear black, but not jet black. And then up at the edges here, I get my back and forth, look, it's gone gray and fuzzy. And that's what we want. I don't want the clear, rich black everywhere at all the corners. So here in the middle, I got to get the owl stable. And then if it goes a bit loose and weak at the edge, it doesn't matter. That's what we want. And the young boy I sent the first batch to, who had done, you know, a nice job for us on a test print a month ago, he just didn't get it. He splashed on black pigment way too thickly and just smashed it everywhere. And the workshop he's used to working at for the past couple of years, the place where he trained, was a real, I know, just bang, 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 bang kind of workshop. Just blow them out, blow them out. And what he wouldn't have done was this. The last few steps, get the pigment out from between those thin lines. Because at his workshop, there's no time to fool around like that. I'm going to vary the touch down here in this corner. These leaves are a bit heavier. Up here, the leaves gradate to nothing. And then it's just Goldilocks amount of pressure on the owl. Too much in those lines smacked together, too little, and it's too gray. Looking good. Here's what we're getting up here, look. See the leaves at the top here? I can't get my left and right back. We want just sort of cloudy midnight disappearing into the dusk. And they're not all going to be exactly the same at that point, because I'm just trying to vary the pressure of the Baron. You know, normally, of course, we're trying to make our prints as close to exact as we can. But here I want just a bit of a cloudiness. Yeah, I'm happy with that. There. Got it. There we are. A bit darker down in this corner, medium, and then fading into nothing up at the top. On my screen, it's funny. This looks green to me on my main Mac screen from that camera. The one up here looks blue. Are you seeing a difference? Look at this. I'm seeing a green background here and a blue background here. I think these cameras are quite different, the way they treat light and stuff. Got no idea what you guys are seeing. Yeah, they're both on the camera up there, the one up there. That's on the moment it's on auto white balance. I didn't even bother thinking about it, you know. The one here, this is the IMAX built-in camera. Can I even change the white balance? I don't know. But this one is looking natural to me. So that one over there needs to be adjusted, I guess. And actually, I can get it now because the light is streaming in from the window out there, natural light. I'm under a fluorescent light here. So obviously the white balance is really, and then the room has itself, it's got two big LED strip lights at the top. So no wonder the balance is confused. Aoi ne, so blue, green, what's the difference? Who cares? A whole island full of millions of people that can't tell the difference between the two according to their language. Green and blue, ne. Yeah, I'm very happy with the way this is turning out, very happy with this. What do we got? A bunch of new people here? I don't quite understand the system here, but whatever. For those who don't know, we're making woodblock prints. The idea here is we have pieces of wood with patterns and shapes carved on them. And on those pieces of wood, we rub pigment, press it, and we end up with pictures. The one we're making today is something like this. A beautiful small Japanese woodblock print for the people who, whatever, don't quite know what we're up to here. Very quiet, peaceful work. Welcome to come and watch. And yes, I'm in Tokyo. I'm in Japan. Outside my window here. Maybe if we get time at the end of the stream today, I'm right by the balcony. So what I should maybe do is when I'm finished my work, when the staff starts coming at 9:30, I should just take the camera and point it outside and see what we can see. I'm not sure how long my cable is from the video adapter. It's a beautiful, beautiful sunny morning here in Asakusa today. The RPG series, I'm thinking we're going to go with that wonderful suggestion that somebody came up with. The FAR PG side. That's the current thinking. It's off my radar this week till I get this stuff out of the way. And the last print in the yokai series, but I'm thinking that's what we're going to do. Also, I'll have to look up who made that suggestion about that name, because he gets a free subscription for the year. Absolutely. He, she, whatever. I'm sorry, I don't know. So I've got to go back into the chats and. Using a bit too much pressure here. Got to back off a bit. Yeah, the FARPG said, how should we spell it though, as far as capital letters and small letters and spacing and stuff goes? The way you've written it there, capital F, small a, capital RPG. Somebody who doesn't know, if they just came across this the first side, remember, we're going to make a web page for all this stuff. How would somebody read that so that we have to know that it's initials, the FARPG? There's people already here, WTF, they know what's going on. So how do we write this? This is such a nice print, I'm so happy with this one. So people are asking, what is this? And is it clear from that name, the FAR PG site? Is that enough information to tell people what this is? There must be people in the thread here who don't actually know. Can you pick it up from that? Yeah, people who don't get it wouldn't be interested. Okay, fair enough. It's a filter. Is that the idea? Okay. I think I might have an image here. Hang on a sec. People who don't know what's going on here. I might still have a filter about it. Hang on a sec. No, that's not it. No. No, I don't have it teed up. We erased it after. Okay, let me have a look. See if I can pull it up here just a sec. Add. Where am I? Add image. Here we go. This was one idea for the kind of stuff we're talking about here. The idea being in a single shot comics, each one just a gag all by itself. Now my block is drying out. This is really no good, you know. Look at that, it's dry in this corner. This is key block printing, and when you're doing key block printing, you don't get distracted by anything. Ha ha. Well, of course, we'll make a video explaining what's going on. Of course, absolutely. So. And then for the second image in the series, we were thinking about this. This is not an actual drawing from Jed. This is a proposal, you know, something like this. Is this series 100% going to happen? It's looking like it is, because I'm running out of options now. There's already not. We had 2 or 3. During the year, we had 2 or 3 options for what to do for next year's series. And that's part of the reason why Jed was here sketching a couple of weeks ago, because we were tossing around something completely different. Didn't really get to the point where we thought we could use it. So yeah, this is what we're going to do. It starts carving pretty much as soon as I finish. As soon as I finish this job, I got to finish the New Year's card, and then that's it. It's for me. I got to start carving this thing. So yeah, we're up. I haven't announced it. I still haven't got the price figured out because I got to do my spreadsheets a bit more carefully. At the moment, all I can say about the price is it's going to be, of course, way lower than this year's series. This year's series was 2 prints, slightly smaller than what we're projecting here. So it's going to be like half the price of this year's series plus a bit, I guess. I'm not sure. And there'll only be 1 each month. It'll be shipped the 1st of each month. Looking good, looking good. And I think the announcement, it was supposed to happen November 1st, wasn't it? But yeah, right. The announcement will be happening sometime this month, the web order page and stuff like that to get early subscriptions. And as usual, there'll be some kind of little bonus for people who want to sign up early so that we can get a good count on what's going on. Stream is broken. Are we broken? I'm showing 0 drop frames, you know. I think I'm doing okay at this end. If you've got a problem, I suspect it's somewhere else. I'm streaming steadily now, 26 minutes, not a single dropped frame. Yeah, I think so. Stream's good, I think, except for the color balance. The internet's telling you it's time to go to bed, is it? I guess mostly what you're seeing is the top of my head, I guess, is it? I'm sorry, there's not much other place to put the camera angle today. You know? We mentioned this yesterday. You know? It would probably be better to have the camera over at my right-hand side because I'm a lefty here. But when I tried setting it up that way, the bright window is here on my left, and that just washes everything out totally. So when I do these at night up here, we can get a better camera angle, but during the day, it's a bit tough, you know. The printers love it. They sit here and print, and the natural light streaming across from the left. So they're right-handed. They print with their right hands, flip the paper off to their left, and they can see it under the window light, under the natural light from the window. For me, this is all backwards. I'm at a right-hander's bench here, trying to use it the wrong way around. What I would do normally is rub with my left hand, flip the paper over to my right to look at it. And in my own workshop back in Omri, that's the way I've got it set up, of course. But up here with these 4 benches, they're all built for right-handers. This is Aimi-san's bench I'm sitting at now. If you've seen the videos with Aimi-san printing, this is her workstation. That's where I'm sitting. And in fact, she's coming today. She's working on her batch of this same owl print. She does 1 or 2 days a week. You know, she's pregnant, about 4 months along, so she doesn't want to work too much or too heavily. But at the moment, she's partway through a batch of these prints. She hasn't been here all week long. She just does 1 or 2 days a week. So I'm keeping her cushion warm for her. Will she say thank you? I doubt it. 20 down, 52 to go. It's peaceful work, you know. Today I'm here fooling around and sort of chatting a bit and doing this and that. But normally, when you're by yourself on this stuff, it's you know, you're not talking to anybody. It's completely peaceful, one by one by one. The rhythm gets in there. You know, the thing takes the same amount of time for each one. So whatever the rhythm is, it gets established after doing the first 10 prints or so. And it's wonderful, wonderful, peaceful work. I don't know, I'm not the, you know, guy to use these words, but it's kind of meditative, even actually. Someone's asking, what's going on here? This is this year's gift print. If you go to woodblock.com/gift, we put up a new print each year for gifts for people to pick up at the end of the year. And this year's print is very, very popular. We've got way too many orders, and that's why the boss here is at work at one of the printing benches. I carved this over the past couple of weeks. It was there on Twitch. And we have so many orders that I'm having to join the crew who is printing. I'm going to be here till about 9:30 at this bench, and somewhere around 10:30, Aimi-san's going to come and sit here and pick up her own batch of these things from the same block. So we're doing this in rotation. Look, as a chef, my God, that's one I could not handle. Boy, oh boy. From what I understand, that's one of the most stressful jobs on the planet, you know. How do printers not hurt their hands? There's no pain involved at all. I'm just gripping this thing lightly. My wrist is absolutely straight. That's why the printing benches are angled, so that when we're printing, our wrist stays straight. If we had to do it like this or something, well, we'd be dead in an hour. There's nothing. There's no physical pressure or physical pain involved whatsoever. It's the tool, you know, we've talked about this Baron before. It's a very, very expensive tool. It's laid up of like 50 or more thin layers of paper inside. It's got just the right amount of flexibility. It gets worn during the day as we use it. It bounces back overnight, ready for action the next day. Here, just careful, smooth pressure. I'm putting pressure in here, you know, here and here. Here and here. So the pressure is basically on the center of the thing. And I can adjust it just perfectly infinitely. a little bit more, a little bit less, exactly where I want it to go. And as I said, this is straight, no stress on my I don't know how much of this applies to anybody using a computer or something, but I think the key is this part. If this is angled and stuff like that, I think that's where you're in trouble. For us, and this is nothing we thought about, this is the way these printers have worked for centuries. The desk is forward, we lean forward a bit. Actually, traditionally, it would be closer. I would be closer like this. The desk would be at a bit more of an angle and be leaned over more. Traditionally, of course, I would be cross-legged. This would be on the floor, cross-legged. The bench comes over my knees. We want to relax the pressure on our bodies a bit, so we've made a hole. My legs go down in the hole there. No cross-legged here. I did for many, many years, but I switched about. When I got my new house in Ome, I built a bench like this. And now many of the workshops in town have switched to this system. I'm happy with the way this is coming out. We do apply pressure, yeah. When I grip it, once I grip it, I then go, and I'm squeezing. So yeah, so I'm relaxing, then gripping, relaxing, then gripping, relaxing, then gripping. But it's not constant. As you can see, I pick up a different tool, the brush, different set of muscles come into play. This is very light touch. Very light touch, surgical. Now another different set of muscles. Again, very light, down she goes. And then grip. I'm not squeezing yet. And now squeeze to get that focus pressure just on that one owl area. And you can hear the as it comes off. There we go. So all day, there's different muscles, different things happening here. So there's no RSI stuff at all. Here we are again, visitors. The daily visit from the giant rats. Good morning, Cameron, Sam.
Morning.
I'm getting used to this now. It's okay. So.
I don't want to let your board dry out. So. Hi.
The stream is already onto it. Cameron, the world's largest rat. Sorry about that.
Oh,
I may have made a meme here unintentionally. Sorry about this. I hope you don't have to carry it all your life. So, guys, we should maybe tamp that down, right? Give the guy a break.
Write it on the bag.
The world's largest rat. So, what have I done? Sorry about that. So. Again, I'm not sure about the Wi-Fi. You're going to sign on here now, are you, with the third floor Wi-Fi?
Make sure I don't.
Okay.
Work offline.
So far, it's perfect. It's showing no drop frames. And
Cool.
orders, orders, orders. I didn't hear any of the Twitch question beeps, but sometimes it seems that that thing doesn't actually beep properly. Nope, nothing in there. Seems all right. Oh, I forgot a couple of things. Yesterday was the first of the month here. It's first, whatever. It's now the 2nd of November here, but yesterday was the first of the month. And that meant it was Cameron's first run through all the things like doing the payroll. He did the payroll with me yesterday for all the staff. We pay on the 1st. And then the first run through of the billings, subscription billings, happen twice a month on the 1st and on the 15th. So it's his first chance to get a look at the software that we have here for running subscriptions and stuff. It's a plus-minus situation. Now, the software is really good at doing what we want it to do, of course, because it's custom, custom stuff I've written myself for this, so it's really good. The bad side of it is that it's the same software that's been patched for I don't even know what it is now, 15 years. So, and if any of you are in that business, you know what that's like. Software is pretty clean and neat when you first make it, and then we get a feature that gets added and another feature gets added and some features get taken away, but you don't want to remove them from the code because you don't know what else is going to get affected. So, and after 15 years, that's a lot of cruft in there. So he's looking a little bit at this with a little bit of a jaundiced eye. Why are there so many options on that menu when we only use one of them? Stuff like that. But so it's clearly ready for a redo. We're just simply too busy to do that. So. But it's working. Huntony, it works wonderfully. I got an email a while ago. It could be somebody who's part of this, who said, Dave, I know I have a good way to let you get back to your workbench. I'll write software for you so that you don't have to do all your subscription billing one by one, by hand, And subscription billing is one by hand. I mean, that's not the way we do it here. It's a very, very highly automated system. But as I said, it's got a lot of cruft in there, so I don't know. The other thing about the 1st of November, I totally, absolutely forgot to mention this yesterday. The 1st of November yesterday was the 3rd anniversary of our Saksa shop. We opened November 1st, 2014. And it's now, we've been up and running 3 years. And my business isn't 3 years old. I've been making prints here in Japan since 1989. I sold the first ones going out. So it's now 28 years or so, 29, however you count it, for me as a professional printmaker. But for the shop, it's 3 years. And I know it's what they say about, like retail. When you open a shop, what's the rule? It's basically 3 years. Within 3 years, either you're dead and gone. And if you can make it through the first 3 years, you're probably going to make it. It's sort of a general rule. 3 whole centuries, the guy says. That's exactly how I feel right now. So, and we're here. 3 years, we've survived. The first couple of years was, of course, very, very difficult financially. This year is much, much better. It's a combination of 3 years of organic growth, being in the same place, people getting used to you, coming back, the travel guides, Lonely Planet, up to this year, YouTube. So we're here 3 years. We had no party. We didn't do anything. We just sort of didn't even recognize what was happening. But here it is today. Not sure if you saw what I did there. It's a bit off camera. What I've got, I've got 72 sheets here, but they're not all just stacked in one stack. I've got like 30. I've got some moist newspaper, a couple of layers, then 30 sheets of the print paper, then a couple of sheets of moist newspaper, then another 30 or so sheets of the printing paper. So I finished the first 30 a moment ago. I've been putting them over. Don't know if we can see, off to my left, there's newsprint, and what was inside there, I've been putting the prints on top of this. You can see the first one now from this next group is gone here. So we keep a sandwich. The prints and the newsprint, and the prints and the newsprint. And I know exactly what's going to happen in a minute, because I mentioned the word newspaper. 1 or 2 or 3 people are going to ask in this thread, doesn't the ink transfer? And no, it doesn't transfer. We come back to the same question all the time. Whether it's Japanese newsprint is different, or we're just buying a higher quality of newspaper, or you guys in other countries have junk newspaper, I don't know the answer. Ours don't transfer. When we read our newspaper, our fingers don't get black, and it doesn't transfer on the prints here. Am I right? How many people have asked about this? This thread is sometimes so predictable. And I think I heard a moment ago the question, so soon. I did indeed. Somebody's asking about the registration marks. What happens if we mess it up? What can I say? If we mess it up, it's messed up, it's gone. We can't fix it. The print has different colors, and if I've put the paper in the wrong place in the mark, then that color will be printed in a different place, and that's it. It's game over. There's no way to erase anything here. that's one thing about this particular craft. We can't cover up mistakes, at least not at the printing stage. The ink is on the paper, the pigment is on the paper, and that's it. But what I don't do, if that previous one that I had done had been misregistered, I don't at that point take that paper and throw it away. I keep it in the stack, because what I want through the rhythm of making the whole job, I know there's 30 sheets plus newspaper, 30 sheets plus newspaper. I want to keep that consistent so we don't mix things up. We don't throw away bad prints partway through. They stay in the stack. They get finished right to the end, just to keep the rhythm of the work smooth and stable. In fact, while we're working, we don't even think about, is this a good one, is this a bad one, will this be rejected? You just make prints, keep going. And once it's all finished and they're coming out of the drying stack, then we think. Then we throw them away. What's this? Somebody had a date at Mokuhankan? What's the story here? I met my wife at Mokuhankan and never looked back. What's that? I'm not sure if I'd advertise that as this, Excuse me. The first week we opened, really? Like 3 years ago, literally. Even I don't remember that far back. Love Hotel plus printing, yeah, right. You actually, though, you can do that, I know here in Asakusa, there used to be many, many, many Love Hotels. And many of them now are closed. The districts and the rules and the things have closed. Love Hotels, they're still necessary quite a bit out in a rural area, but they're not really needed in town anymore. People, I know, it's much easier to use their own homes these days. So the number of Love Hotels here in Asakusa has dropped, and one company a while back, the one they're calling Kaosan, Khaosan, they took over the lease of a bunch of these Love Hotels and converted them into backpackers' hostels. I mean, not backpacking in the sense of, actually backpacking, just normal travelers' hostels. So a number of these places, the Kaosan World, Kaosan Origami, Kaosan Samurai, the names they've given these places, these are former Love Hotels. And one of them, they have left in the original decor. They've left the mirrors on the roofs and the red velvet and stuff like that. I forget which one it is. Kaosan World? I'm not sure. Don't quote me. So yeah, you can stay at an authentic Love Hotel 2 blocks away. Come here and make your woodblock prints so you can have the real authentic Japanese Asakusa experience. Well, we don't have mirrors on the ceilings here in Mokuhankan, no, but this is not a converted love hotel. The building actually, the location has a long history. This particular structure was built in 1960. We found out last week. We've been doing some research on parts of our various plants here. And this particular version of the structure was built in 1960. So it's younger than me. I thought it was older than me. It's not. And its most recent incarnation over many, many changes was it was a boar meat restaurant, Inoshishi Ryori. But before that, looking at the old maps of the district, this place was what was called the Noguchi Shokudo. It moved in and moved out. And that's a really historical place. It's their records, their claim was that they were the third restaurant to ever open in Tokyo, Edo/Tokyo. And as the Meiji era came in, back in the Edo era, there was no such thing as restaurants per se. There were, maybe a noodle shop, but there were rest houses where people, when they were traveling, stopped and slept and got some kind of food. But there was no such thing as a restaurant where, hey, let's go out for dinner tonight. That didn't exist in the Edo time. It's not all that old in the West either, I think. I don't know. People know more details about it than I do. Anyway, move into Meiji, lifestyles changed, Westerners were around, things are happening. And the idea of a restaurant came to this country. And they didn't use the word a restaurant, they used the word shokudo, eating hall, I guess would be and the word is still used now in places like a company cafeteria or a university cafeteria. It's called the shokudo. And the mood of the word now is the place where you go and get cheap curry rice for 300 yen subsidized by the company, that sort of thing. But it used to be the name that was used for what we would now call a restaurant. And Noguchi Shokudo, they're long, long, long gone now, but their claim was that they were the third one that ever opened up. And it was in this district somewhere, in Asakusa, not on this spot of land. And they moved around, places burned down, things happened, wars came, moved around. And their final incarnation before they gave up the ghost was on this plot of land. And it was a building with multi-buildings, building connected to building, connected to building. They were quite a big organization. And one of their buildings was this one. And one of them was the one behind us, which still exists. It's that little local antique shop, the one called Hotaru-do. He's dealing in Taisho-era antiques. And he's the last surviving structure of the group that was the Noguchi Shokudo. He's quite proud of this. He's done research, he's got old photographs and stuff like that. And this place was buzzing. It was buzzing. This whole district, what we call Rokudori, District 6 Street here in Asakusa, it's where all the theaters were. And this is in an era before radio, before TV, before anything. This was the entertainment district for Tokyo. Not in the sense of the Yoshiwara, where guys went to buy sex, but the casual entertainment district. There were theaters, strip clubs, places to eat. Got pictures from the 1920s or so, and this area was just jumping. Sorry about that. Blow my nose right into the microphone, I guess. Go, man. Is it hard to see the registration marks? No, 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 no. It's a corner, eh? It's a 90-degree corner. So that means there's only one place the paper can go. I know. I'm not sure what else to say. We have to be careful. The paper is soft and moist. And we do have to be really careful. If you've got a print you're making that's got, say, 10 colors, 12 colors, 20 colors, whatever, the paper, after going in the corner so many times, starts to get beaten up. The corner of the paper that would go in the registration mark starts to get damaged. So when we have a print we're going to make, which has a lot of colors, and we know it's really delicate registration, we harden the corner first with nail polish. In the old days they used lacquer, we use nail polish. The one here, this is only a 5 impression print, 6 impression print, so I haven't done that. So the paper's moist, very, very soft, so you can see what I'm doing. I'm very, very softly, gently, there it is, lock with my thumb, move to the left, against the line, lock with my thumb. We've now got perfect registration. Because I'm a lefty and I have trouble here, I've got to lock the paper once more before I start with my rubbing. A right-handed person locks here and just rubs with his right hand, but I can't do that. So it's a real handicap being a lefty, working with right side registration marks. If a young person came here, let me be a printer for your workshop, and they were left-handed, I'd tell them, just go away. I'm sorry, I can't help you. It's too much of a handicap. Carving, no problem. It's ambidextrous, but printing is very much a right-hander's job. I'm a lefty, so I could have put the registration marks on this side, but that means only I can print these blocks. We're a workshop. I know ever since I started, I was faced with that. I could easily put the registration marks in a mirror location, but that means right-handed printers would not know what to do with them. So I made the decision right back at the beginning, nearly 30 years ago. Get over it, learn how to do it, and then all the blocks that I've ever carved are usable by right-handed printers. Well, making registration marks on both sides doesn't make any sense. The paper swells and expands and shrinks all over the place. It can only be keyed to one side. We can't lock it in from both sides at the same time. It's got to be one or the other. We're dealing with flexible paper here. Yeah, I know, left-handed thing in Japan, it's different from the West, you know. I know in the West we went through this thing where lefties used to be forced to change quite commonly. I think in my era, the 1950s, most kids were asked to switch or forced to switch. My mother, I think, told them leave them alone or something, I don't know. So I was left alone. But in Japan and China, it's a different story. And of course, lefties are forced to switch, but there's a reason for it that we don't get in the West. I know calligraphy. Calligraphy, I don't know how to see it with the camera here. I'm just going to try with the camera. In basic sense, calligraphy, a right-hander takes the brush, and you know how in Japan it works top to bottom, right to left, you know, whatever, top to bottom. And the calligraphy strokes are built for a right-hander to go down and then pull across, up, down, pull across, up, and all the way. So it's a right-hander's pattern, across and down, across and down, across and down. The basic character for number one, it's a horizontal bar. You dip your brush in, smash, pull it up, and lift. So the character has a blob at the beginning and then it ends tapered off to the right. A lefty comes along and you can't do that. It doesn't work for a lefty. You want to pull left. So left-handers can't do classical calligraphy in Japan. And classical calligraphy, I meant that's how they write. That was people writing in school. So it was a huge, huge handicap for lefties back when it was all done with brushes. Now these days, pens and pencils, it's a different story. You know, it's not wet ink. But you can't be a good calligrapher and be a lefty in Japan. And China must be the same thing. They're the same thing because the strokes are all built in, sweeping left to right and with pressure going in a certain way. Much more critical than it was in the West. You know. The idea of a left-handed calligrapher in Japan is just bizarre. There probably are such people now who trade on their bizarreness, but in the classical sense, it's impossible. And for the stream today, the timing, it might be a bit different from usual. I know this job I'm doing now has to be finished. It's nothing to do with the stream. I'm going to keep going here until this is finished. There's 72 sheets in the deck. And there's no way I'm going to stop here just because it's 9:25 or something. The shop is Teiko-san downstairs, and I don't think there's even a print party reservation at 10 o'clock. So I'm just going to sit here where I am until this is done. And I think I've finished 30, 40, about 50 sheets. So I've got somewhere around, I said there's 72 in the batch, so. Might be a few more than 72, 30, 30, 40, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 50. I think it's 72. I'm going to keep going until they're done. So, so we're going to get a special extended stream by 5 or 10 minutes today. Charge everybody extra. That is if my bladder will let me. I'm not sure. Might be getting a bit too light. Be careful. Are you doing all the colors this stream? No, I'm doing the key block here. This print is going to have, here's the finished version. This is the wrong one up here. This print is going to have 6 impressions. The background twice, 1, 2. The key block, the black outlines, 3. Then there's 2 browns, a sepia and a dark brown, that's 4, 5. Then there's a green for some of the leaves. The browns also pick up into the leaf zones. So 6 impressions altogether. 2 were done yesterday, the blue and the blue. This is now the black. This is impression number 3. There are 3 more impressions, the sepia, the brown, and the green. They are going to follow. If I'm not too busy with paperwork today, I'm going to do some more of those today. Maybe 1 or 2 of them. So then I think perhaps tomorrow morning in this stream, I'll be doing the final impression. Perhaps the green, maybe I'll be doing it last. And then the print will be finished. It'll go to our Ome workshop and bang, they're going to send it out to all the waiting orders. And then probably I'll be starting again because the orders are still pouring in and we're still short for printers. Talking about the price of the print and stuff? Yeah. Shipping is the same worldwide, no difference, because it goes as an airmail letter, which from Japan is a global flat rate, $350. There's also a tiny little bonus that goes with these things, you know. There's when the ladies over in Ome pack the things, they don't use a postage machine. They use actual Japanese postage stamps, and every month they pick from the post office the most colorful or interesting commemorative stamps. So that's actually an interesting part of it. We get people asking us about that quite often. Please don't forget my stamps and stuff like that. But it's a standard policy now. We do it always with the prints like this going out. They get commemorative postage stamps on the package too. Doesn't mean anything to some people. To some people, it's a big deal. Especially subscribers. And all the people who are subscribing to our monthly subscription series, the packages always go out with a new variation of Japanese commemorative stamps every month. We've got people now who have been subscribing for a few years, and they've got a wonderful little collection of Japanese postage stamps, all used, of course. And the girls don't repeat, the ladies there, they don't repeat. They keep track of which ones have been used for which people. It's insane. When I first heard them doing that, I thought, look, ladies, there's no better way to waste your time. But they said they don't want people to get the same stamps twice. They want people to build up their collection. So they keep track of who's got what. I am liking this one, you know. I am liking this. This is the key block, yes, and it's maybe worth mentioning it too. For most of our work, whatever, 90% of our work, 99% of our work, key block comes first, and then the colors fit into it. But a print like this is a little bit different. This is the key block image by itself, and this is the print. And it's not one of those prints where the key block has outlines, where the colors go into the outlines and stuff. So what we did with this one, we printed the back first so that gets the paper smooth and soft and smooth and soft. And now that it's done, the key block is so easy to print on paper that's been in the stack for a couple of days and is soft and supple. But this one is not a key block in the sense of it being a key for all the other colors. It's really just another color block by itself, because there's no outlines that things are filled in on. I just use the word key block as a whatever standard practice, but there's no key block on this print in that sense. In fact, you could think of it, the background color was the key block, and I'm fitting the black now inside that circle that's left over. Cameron-san, are you there? We have the same situation as yesterday. Neteiko-san's here coming today. She has a key, but Matsumura-san is her helper. He doesn't have a key.
Oh, I just heard...
Okay, if they're up and running, then good. Just, yep. up on the third floor here, we don't hear the ping pong. Am I streaming for longer because I'm a printer? I know printing or carving is different. With the carving, there's no moisture control, there's no, whatever. I can carve, oops, there's something I have to do, put the tool down, go away and do something else, come back and carve. It's not maybe good for your concentration, but the physical work itself, the block will sit and wait happily. For printing, you can't do that. Actually, we're going to see that in 1 minute. I got 2 sheets left and I have to go to the bathroom before I finish the rest of this. So we'll see that in a minute. I'm going to do 2 more sheets. I'm going to take a break for 2 minutes, then come back, and this block is going to be dried out. And I will have trouble on the next couple of prints getting it ready and getting it warmed up. So printing is a job that really doesn't get interrupted well. You sit down to do a run of a color, and you got to sit there until that thing's finished. Now, we don't sit there until the whole print is finished. That's not possible. So what we do in our workshop here is at the end of every working day, the girls usually set it so that they're timing it so that they finish a color or 2 colors or 3 colors in any given day. And they'll run in the evening until they finish that color. Then they pack up their paper securely, wrap it in plastic tightly, and they put it in the freezer. So the paper is frozen overnight. And that's my first job each morning. When I actually get up, I stagger to the bathroom, look at the chart on the wall that says, go to the freezer, take out Suga-san's paper, take out Kawai-san's paper, and do that. That's my first job in the morning before I do anything else, because I'm the guy that lives here. And if I do that at 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, then by the time they get here at 9:30 or so, or 10 or whatever time they come, their paper is defrosted and ready to go. But today here, I'm going to keep going until I finish this batch. And there's 72 sheets in. And as I said, after 1 more here, which is going to finish this particular batch from the newspaper, I'm going to go and take a toilet break and come back. Forty, 50, 58 sheets there. And as it happens, that's where the newspaper comes. So this goes across to cover those up. But again, this is not my normal bench. That's not how I do it, but it's all backwards here. Okay, that's covered. We have, I think, 14 sheets left here now, ready to go. But as I said, a man got to do what a man got to do. Back in a couple of minutes. Don't go away. Yoisha. Oh! No, Bob, sorry, sorry, Bobby. You jumped from exploding. Sorry about that. I didn't know you were in there. Sorry. Go ahead. Down we go. What's this? Dave moved from his seat. Can't drink beer and print, say. Give me a break, guys. Okay, we're normally finishing this stream right now. This is exactly where I would be leaving. Shop opens at, staff comes around 9:30. Look at this, the block now is dry, unprintable. So moisten it up and sit for a minute, try and get the moisture level back to normal. So the stream would normally be finishing now, but I have 14 sheets left, and I'm going to just keep going till I finish these sheets, rather than disrupt this thing, of course. And I see there's a question in the box. What does it say? I'm not sure what you're asking. The gentleman is saying, would I ever print a children's book? Oh, I'm not sure what you mean. I'm not an artist, remember. Jed is an artist. He has done actually children's books already. He's got a couple of books on the market that are sort of fairly successful. He designs, does it in Photoshop, sends it out to a publishing company, they make a book. For woodblock prints, I can't quite see how I could, we could theoretically make 100 copies of each print and make them into a book and stuff like that. But so I'm not sure what you mean. I know I'm not a designer. I don't draw pictures. I don't illustrate things. Okay, let's get the show back on the road. These final few sheets didn't get trimmed well when they came out of the sizing, so it doesn't matter. They're just a slightly bit too long, but they'll get trimmed before shipping, of course. So. There's no special reason for them being too long here, nothing to question. It'll be trimmed, of course. Those times, are you thinking about the daylight savings time thing now? Because for me in Japan, it's 8 o'clock Japanese time I start, but that doesn't change with the seasons. But everybody else, or many other people, change with the seasons. So. Oops, a bit too much pressure on the edge there. Seems okay. There's so little pigment necessary in these blocks, you know, just a bare tint on top of this wood. You know. This is where the young man who did the first batch of these for us, or tried to do the first batch, he failed. He just put way too much pigment on it. He just didn't get the light touch that we need here. Just tuned in, it says. Hi, this is the this here's gift print. Woodblock.com/gift is the finished sample here. I got about 7 sheets left, I think, before it's time for me to get busy with other work today. The finished version is something like this. This is, you're seeing a wrong white balanced color, but the finished version will be something like this. Here's a better color. If I had nothing else to do, this could be finished somewhere around noon, because the last 4 colors are easy. Bang, 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 bang. Or last 3 colors, brown, brown, green. They could go about 1 hour each. I could be finished by lunchtime, but duty calls. Is there a perfect ratio? No, I'm eyeing it, of course. I'm looking at each print as it comes off, very much, you know. As each one comes off the block here, This is a critical part of the process, absolutely. As each one comes off, I look at it. If we're getting a bit too dark, are we getting a bit too light? Which way are we going? The ideal is, you stay right down the middle of the road, but if it goes a little bit this way, you have to pull it back. And a beginner printer, he's in the ditch each side, left to right all the time. Too much pigment, not enough pigment, too much. As you get more and more experience, so what I will do now is I do not need any black, because that was more than deep enough. So I just need a touch of the water. You can see what I've got here. There's black part over here, and there's just water on this side of the tile. So that last one was pushing a bit too far to the black side. So I just picked up from the water side. If you've watched many of our videos, you'll see we splash pigment onto the blocks. That's when you need a good, rich, coverage, but that's not what this one's about. Check again, looks just about exactly right. Just moisten this up a little bit, just a tiny little dab of water there, just enough to keep this block moistened. And again, if I take a break for 30 seconds to do something else, the block dries and now the water balance is getting screwed. It's all about rhythm, rhythm, rhythm. Check each one, try and keep that car running right down the middle of the road. We got 3 sheets left, I think, before it's time to wrap up here. So let's have a recap here. It's Thursday morning. We finished in a few minutes here. There's, again, almost certainly not going to be a stream this afternoon. That probably is just something I'm not going to be able to keep up. 5:30 in the afternoon is just an impossible time for us. Staff leaving, having to talk to them about next day's work. Customers are still here. Just 5:30 just wasn't a good idea in the first place. But the morning stream is no problem, of course. So I'll be here again tomorrow morning, and I will either be finishing up the last color on this block, depending on how my work goes today, or I'll be back downstairs again finishing up the carving of the New Year's card, the New Year's print. Then once that's done, I'll either be doing a test run of the New Year's print, or I'll be moving on to carve the first of the FAR PG side prints, which has got to get started soon, because to ship them in January, we've got to get started on the carving much earlier than that. I think there's 1 sheet left. Here we are. Excuse me. There we go. No more hiding in here. That happens, you think you're finished and it turns out there's another sheet of newspaper with another 30 sheets under it or something. Today, no. So I'm very happy the way this has turned out today. Really good job. That's the key block, whatever. That's the black block on the owl. There we are. We're done. Excuse me. Anything else to answer here? I don't think there's anything else, and I didn't hear any. Nope, no other questions in the box. So there we are. Okay, that's it for this morning. Thank you very much. And as I said, I'll be back here tomorrow morning, either here printing one of the other colors on this one, or I'll be back down at my carving bench in the same time, same station. Thanks for being along, guys. I'll have a read through the chat later on. Oh, outside. Yeah. Can we do that? Cameron-san, are you there?
Yeah.
Can you give me a hand for a minute?
Sure.
I know I got sort of too much stuff all connected together here. I know what I'd like to do is roll the camera outside for a minute just to show the gang the street.
Here?
But so if you took the camera, see what I mean? It's all short cables. So let me get up.
Okay.
I'll take the computer.
Okay.
You take the camera, pop the door open.
Okay. I can do that one first.
Twist that so you can see what you're shooting at.
Okay.
Maybe zoom out.
Yeah.
Take it outside and let me just hang on till I get out of here.
Yeah. Too tangled.
And I'll follow. I have no idea what this is all.
Just come right off there.
Or just take the tripod. Just take the whole thing. Just
Okay.
close it up and just go for it. Oh. And that's supposed to be my job. Out you go. Just find something. Find donkey or whatever, and
Oh, the power cable may be too short.
then let's unplug it. Battery should be good.
Okay. Alright. Here we go.
And tell you what. Let's just turn this over to you.
Oh, me. Okay. Down there is the...
Hang on. Microphone.
Oh, me. Okay.
Clip it on.
Sure. If I can. I don't know near as much about the history of the area as he does, but there's the Don Quixote shop, and that used to be a theater, is that right? Like you said, so many other shops.
In that location, it's long gone.
Oh, okay. Okay, so that's there. Here's the main street. Sorry, trying to turn with a long tripod on is kind of unwieldy, but here, just out our window, is Tokyo Skytree, one of the newest landmarks in Tokyo. What else do we have? Anything else you want to add?
Just pan along the street down there.
Okay, here, let's go down.
This is Gori, number 6 districts.
Here.
So, here we are, look at this, away we go. It's quiet this time of morning, you know. It changes during the day, it gets buzzing around noon. There's the new Marugoto Richmond Hotel. Behind it, the Asakusa View Hotel, perhaps the most famous hotel in the area. Do you see, if you get into the, can you get into the whale restaurant there?
Oh, yeah. Let me zoom in a little bit. Should I give you this back, or?
Whatever. The mic is caught somewhere, whatever.
There.
This is a bit chaotic, I'm sorry about this. So you see the awning there, the blue awning with the whale. That's Tokyo's most famous whale meat restaurant. It's called Hoge-sen. And he keeps trying to get me to come over there. He's got a free dinner waiting for me, and I'm like, no thank you, sir, no thank you.
Have you ever eaten whale?
No, I don't really have much of a taste for it. I mean, not the idea. I don't have a taste for the idea, let alone the things.
Surprised they sell it in cans here, like a
That's
tuna
his deal.
can.
So, that's his big deal. He's trying to make it popular, you know.
Yeah. There's that. What is this shop?
That's she sells purses and bags for use on the kabuki stage. So kabuki guys come here to get what bag they need for their little next part they're playing and stuff like that. Not much business. She doesn't have many customers, but each bag is probably like $10,000 or something. I have no idea, whatever. So,
Let's see.
There we are.
Tonchan, is that a...
Oh, you see the guy there, look. You see where the lantern, the stone lantern is there. If you zoom right in the middle, see right there, okay. It's a little guy here. He walks around selling manju. He's got bells on that thing. He's posing as an old Edo era guy. Look at this, here he goes, with a taxi behind him. Ring, ring, ring. And he's got theater posters on the thing, and he sells manju.
Yum.
Okay, guys, I think that's it. We got to get going with our work here, so I think we'll just sign off. We got cables everywhere. Can you grab that?
Yeah.
Chaos. All right, enough. Signing off here. Can I get to where you can see me?
There you go.
Thanks very much. That wasn't exactly very well organized, but just a view of our window.
Yeah.
We should maybe one day go upstairs. Well,
Yeah.
We're not too mobile because we got to stay tethered to this stupid video.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, enough for now. Bye-bye, guys. Thanks very much. I'm off. Ready to stop streaming button. Where can I find it? Hey, so long. Sayonara.